Morning. Welcome back to Dad's Garage. Um, got some more parts to this Nerf blaster finished. Go ahead and get these cleaned up. And you know, cleaning up supports. Something I rarely ever have to do. It's so nice that so many designers now, and this technically falls into the category, but so many designers take the time to make things so that they don't really require supports. That's nice. Uh-oh, audio broken. Down under maker. Well, it's not morning for you. Good evening, sir. Dan, maker my Nexus. How are you this morning? Oh yeah, I've been up for coming up on 4 hours now. Spent most of the morning talking to my son, helping him pick out tools. Which is really nice. Buying tools for his new job as a mechanic, and buying a lot of stuff on Amazon. So taking advantage of my Amazon affiliate link so I get kickbacks on the stuff he's buying. Zybertech. Tom. All right. Tom, do you have a Discord name that I would know? Uh-oh. Dan, are you revealing trade secrets over there? Zybertech? All right. Trying to think. What Discords are you on, sir? I'm sure I've seen you. I just, I don't know. Sometimes I tend to lose track of some people, and I apologize. For those that were here yesterday, I did hear from our friend making nearly 2-hour drive after working 14 hours. He is okay. He had to stop on and sleep on his way home because he was falling asleep. So good to hear that he did make it home okay. You've DM'd me. I'll be honest, I've gotten I do my best to keep up with all my DMs. But for a minute there, I was getting a lot Um, and Discord's not going to show me any names because of streamer mode. Yeah, after the hub for the box turtle thing, I got quite a few DMs. Just folks saying thank you, so that was nice. Anyway. I do recognize you from chat here. I know you're here all the time. So is Raj. Dan, good to hear that you're not revealing trade secrets. So, after stream yesterday, I was working on just crimping connectors for the toolhead board. That's time consuming and nobody actually wants to watch that happen on stream. And I ran into an issue. So let me see if I can pull up some pictures here and show y'all what we had going. Where's my photos? There's my photos. All right. So, if you look right here, low sync, good morning. This is the beacon. This is my rear lead screw. This was going to hit into that lead screw. So I talked to Vitali, and some other folks on Discord, that there was room here to move this back. That smoker really should be outside smoking something, but alas, I don't have anything to put on it. I did use it the other weekend to do 10 pounds of chicken quarters for my daughter's birthday party. So we did do that. Gentleman had a parametric design for a mount that he could just adjust parameters on. And here's what we got to. Move that beacon as far forward as possible, and it's no longer going to run into that lead screw. But this metal toolhead mount is right above it. So that led to another issue. Let me pull up a picture here. this bigger. If I do that. All right. So here's the issue. This is the CAD for beacon. I could. It's not a JST plug though. We're going to get to that issue too. So this is CAD with everything. This highlighted area is the interference between the beacon exclusion area and the aluminum mount. So it's not much, but it is there. So trying to figure that out. And what we came up with, talking to the Annex guys, talking to Vitali, guys over on the Voron Discord for Vitali's channel, over on Fabrico's channel, we came up with lowering that rear motor mount down. So the issue is the lead screws that are on there are lead screws out of a Formbot Trident kit. And despite this, the kit that it came out of being 300 by 300 by 250, same as this, those lead screws are long enough for a 300 cube printer. They're 50 millimeters longer than a standard lead screw. So everybody else's kits, Tridents, they don't have an issue with this if they're not a Formbot kit. Because the LDO lead screws are the right length. So what I came up with, because I've got the inverted electronics. Let's see. Used my new CAD skills that I've been working on. And I made, hold on. We're going to find it. It's somewhere in here. Inverted electronics. STOs. Extended rear stepper mount. I made this. I took and extended this down 20 millimeters. It would print the other way. But to lower the stepper motor down 20 millimeters. Now the issue with this is this going to be a pretty big cavity for crap to fall down into. So, folks over on the Fabrico Discord pointed out that there was this model. And this is just a spacer that goes in there. Objects. Comes apart in two pieces, so you don't even have to take the lead screw completely out. You can just unscrew it the motor from the mount, drop it down, slide this in, and tighten it all back up. And easy peasy lemon squeezy, you've lowered your motor down 13 millimeters. Now, whether 13 millimeters is going to be enough is going to be another question. So I set that to print last night before I went to sleep. And it's on the printer right now. So we're going to give that a try and see if we can get clearance enough for the beacon. Problem number dos. So the H36 tool head board Collie, good morning. Sorry, I missed you dropping in there, man. The H36 toolhead board comes with two of these connectors to go from, because there's two pass-throughs for USB, or if you're using CAN bus, you can use one of them to pass USB communication on down to your beacon or whatnot. But the end of this is a JST connector. That is not what is on beacon. Beacon has a Molex Sherlock connector. And I spent a stupid amount of time on Amazon trying to find a Sherlock connector so that I could just have it overnighted here. I found the one thing that there's not a cheap Chinese clone of, or even a genuine one on Amazon. So I ordered 10 of the 90-degree ones for that part that would go onto the board, that would go onto the low profile beacon. 5 of those, 5 of the ones that go vertically, and then 10 of the connectors and 100 of the pins, the crimps for it, from DigiKey. But that'll probably be here the end of next week. So we're kind of up creek without a paddle on that one. But let's grab these parts off the printer. I do so love how everything just comes right off of that Fabrico satin sheet. Thing is my favorite print sheet ever. All right, so here's our parts. Printed them in blue because they're, I mean, it's the same blue that's on here. It'll match it matches the blue, but I would have printed it in gray, but blue was already loaded in the printer, so that's what we went with. All right. So let's see what we got here. We're going to Down Under Maker, you missed it. Are you still here? Let's take one of these out and figure out how long screw we're going to need. It's 13 millimeters longer. So it's an odd size. Oh, no worries, no worries. I was just letting you know that you missed the stream where we made your wrenches that I'm going to send to you, sir. I'm hoping that there's enough room to just... So this is... That's why they did it 13. So this is a 12. So if I just do a 25, that gives us the same length. That's why it's 13. One, two, three, four. Zybertech, you missed a lot. You missed a lot. Lots of things happened. Absolutely none of it was important. But that is how the Polar Ted Club started. I think it was a burrito, though, wasn't it? Not a sandwich. I haven't seen Polar Ted around in a while. But yeah, Down Under Maker, yours are a little bit longer than mine. But we did make them. I ended up having to bust up 3 sets of wrenches because the 2 millimeter one snapped on me twice. 2 or 2.5 millimeter one snapped on me twice. That's what the bishop told the choir boys. I'm a little concerned. I don't know what's going on over there. I'm not sure if I want to know. Hey, my replacement ObsBot Meat 2 is out for delivery. All right, one more screw on here. Get out of there. Jeez. All right, there we go. All right, so should be able to. Out of the way. Slide that there. I'm not going to put all the screws in this yet. So I just want to hold it in place so we can put this beacon back on there. Oh, Jesus. Yes, they did replace it. So they, while they did not believe me, which is whatever, I get that, you know, from working in retail for 12 years as a goldsmith. You hear every story. I didn't do anything, you know, my ring mangled itself. I understand. But they did the right thing regardless. Just told me, hey, send it back to us. As soon as you give us a tracking number that you've sent it to us, we're going to send one out to you to minimize the time that you're without one. But we do want a tracking number first. Understandable. I could have mailed them an empty bubble mailer because all I needed was a tracking number. But yeah, whatever. But I did mail the camera. But after the fact, I'm like, how are they going to verify this? $230 fasteners. I've built Lego trucks with less pieces. All right, so item number 1. Is get this switch moved back over to the original official Vitali beacon mount. Now it is worth noting, official beacon mount from Vitali does not have that interference issue. It is just this one that a gentleman made for me with his parametric mount. He was able to just type in a value for where he wanted the thing and it just moved there, I guess. Would this have worked? Probably. Is this the truck that you already built down under Maker, or are you building a new one? All right, so we need some more screws. Oh, okay. Is it the same truck or is it a different one? I got the impression that your kids were tiny. I didn't know they were old enough to use RC cars. I mean, I gave my son a Losi Mini T for his 2nd birthday, so, you know, no judgment. I actually recently just rebuilt that Mini T. I need to get a battery and a battery charger, remote, and it'll work again. I have to be careful with it though, because they don't make parts for it anymore. Oh, nice. I thought about doing that with the torque, that because I bought the files for it, and I think you can just make it without the RC components, if I understood correctly. It's entirely possible that I did not, but if I did, so we got these wires fed out the right way, because that's how confident I am in this. Let's bring this over here and let's mount this beacon on here and see if it clears. I even tried the Rev D one that I have that isn't low profile, but that one comes as far back as the Rev H low profile does, so that didn't matter. But I do want the ADXL capabilities of this one on this printer. Kegel, good morning. How are you today? I could have just replaced that connector that's on there with a JST. It wouldn't be as secure of a connection, I don't believe. And there's a lot of surface mount components on here. And I really didn't want to destroy this thing. All right, let's see if I can get you guys an angle where you can see that lead screw well. And you can see whether or not it's going to run into it. Dun, 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 dun. I'm going to lower you down, lower you down, lower you down. All right. I can't see from here. Are you able to see that lead screw? You are. But we'll just zoom in on it anyway. All right, center your screen. Top of that lead screw. It's where the connector was hitting. Let's see if it's going to hit it still. Now, also still going to need clearance for the connector. So it's got to clear over top of it. And it does. And it does. Perfect. Bring that bed up some so it's a little more level. It's one problem solved. An infinite number to go. All right, let's bring this on back out. Oh. You guys having fun? Getting dizzy over there? There we go. Yeah, close up on the carnage. Fortunately, I caught that and didn't like it. It would have only been an issue when it was printing at the very back, like all the way back on the build plate. Or if for some reason it aired out and that, like, when it was doing this poop macro or something like that, and then I homed it all the way across the back of Y. It's the only time it would have been an issue. So more than likely, I would have gotten away with it for quite some time. And then all of a sudden, it would have crashed and I would have had a destroyed beacon probe. Kilo Prince, how's it going? It is pretty quick. It looks less fast with a giant box turtle enclosure on it. I'm not gonna lie. Thing looks kind of awkward. That's all right. You're over there playing with your new Elegoo Centauri Carbon. I ended up having to bounce out once I got done cooking grilled cheese and tomato soup for dinner last night. How did it go? Yeah, it's massive. That'd be like the size of a 250 2.4 almost. Just or so I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen it, but there was a guy, I don't remember his name, but he was doing PIF parts, print it forward, and he made really squat 2.4s. So there was only like, I don't know what it was, like 100 millimeters or 150 millimeters on Z. And then he just had them stacked on top of each other. That would be less height-wise than that. Morning, Captain. Centauri Carbon's fantastic. Yeah, a guy at work has one, and he loves the thing. And it would be a printer I would love to check out. Cheap enough. What is it $2.99 or $3.99? It's $2.99, right? it'd be an awesome printer just to put in here. And supposedly there's a filament changer coming for it. Whether or not it ever does, whether or not it comes out when anybody cares. $299 to $350. Were you saying that Hector's going to be carrying the Centauri Carbon? I kind of want to get, so I really want to get a machine to print PLA, multicolored PLA. Bamboo A1 would be fine. Something like that. That way, like, I can print out my maker chips, print out toys for the kids when they want it. I just want something that prints PLA, prints it well, and I don't have to mess with. I don't want to play with a printer that just for printing PLA. I've got the CR10, and it works okay, but it's a glass bed. It's old tech. It's not multicolor. You want to buy the Vivid from whatchamacallit? Hector already has batch 2 on the way. Nice. He has them. They are getting ready to open round 2 of pre-orders. They will have them at $339. Awesome. Flash forward 88.5 is $360 and it's 4 colors. So here's my issue with Flash Forge. Okay. So I do some work with another YouTuber in his community as a community admin, and that is just purely helping new people that are just getting into the hobby. Okay. Now a lot of, 12 months ago and before, a lot of that was just helping people out that were running Marlin printers with Cura Slicer. It's largely become majority people with bamboo printers and bamboo studio. So it'd also be really nice to have a bamboo and some experience with bamboo studio to be able to help these guys better. So that's part of my reason towards leaning towards an A1. But had to help a guy that had a Flash Forge printer. And you can't even, I couldn't even get it to pull up the camera and the device in Orca Slicer because it's like closed off, and it's honestly worse for trying to get that to work outside of Flash Forge ecosystem than trying to get bamboos to work. So I'm good with that. Is there a non-carbon version of this? Oh, what is it? An unenclosed one? Yeah, P1P would work too. But how much is the P1P with the AMS on it? I always forget that printer even exists. P1, P1P. They don't even offer it on their site with the AMS. But it is $400. and it's $550 for the P1S with the enclosure, $750 with the AMS. Yeah, but the problem with the so the Century Carbon's one that I would get enclosed. There's no AMS for it yet, and there's no telling whether it's going to be any good if and when it comes out. So I'd rather not buy a promise of future stuff and just hope that they keep their promise and that the product's any good. So I would just buy that as a Century Carbon. And use it for, I do plenty enough printing to keep it busy and to put it to use. But I would want something else. Yeah. Yeah, I would love an H2D. H2D would be perfect. It's even set up to be able to vent and all that stuff. But unless Bamboo's sending it to me free of charge, that ain't happening, sir. I don't even know where things are going right now. So I mean, I'm not buying anything at this moment. Not until I figure out all this health stuff. But yeah, just talking, we all sit and think about what we'd like to have and why, and yeah, Down Under Maker, I understand, and I'd normally be right there with you, but I just want something I can take out the box and I don't have to fiddle with. I don't want to think about, and I can just, the kids want something, here, print it. It's something they can do. The little one's really getting into this stuff. The other one really wants to print Hogwarts and Harry Potter paraphernalia. So and like I said, I do all that work in that other community with helping people, and largely what they're doing is bamboo stuff. So it'd be really nice to have firsthand experience with it to be able to help them. Yeah, like I said, I've heard nothing but good things about them from the people that I know that have them. I know that there's been some people that have issues with different things. The one complaint that I've heard from the guy at work that has one is he had to replace the nozzle or the hot end or something. It clogged up on him, and he just couldn't get it unclogged. First rule about bamboo: don't tell people when yours is broken. Yeah, Grant. Yeah, I've heard that the Prusa Core 1 has some issues. VFAs and stuff. Prusa's trying to figure it out, I guess. Yeah, Captain, XL would be a sweet printer to have too. I know they have an enclosure for that, but that, I don't know. It doesn't seem like an enclosure that's, maybe it works. I don't know. But that would definitely be a printer that I would use for just PLA at this point. PLA, it'd be nice to have a printer that printed TPU reliably, because good Lord, everything that I print TPU, I got to print on the V0. So it's got the shortest pathway, but even that's still convoluted, and it's a pain. So I think the A1 would be a good option for that. Just unhook the AMS from it and just like direct feed it from above or something. Just let it free feed into the tool head or something. All right, we got to do a whole bunch of connectors still on the H2D, because, I mean, not the, Jesus, on the H36 here, because all the connectors are the tinier JSTs on this. So we got to make this work. Shrimp Father Martin, how's it going this morning, sir? So, a few people, I'm assuming you're talking about the Orange Storm, Captain. Plenty of people have flashed that over to just vanilla Clipper. The issue that people have with the Orange Storm Giga, and this is also potentially a problem that the Phoenix is going to face, is that it is 4 beds. You got to get those leveled to each other, and then have them stay level when you heat them. Is it's not one plate over it, it's 4 different build plates on 4 separate beds. The Phoenix is at least 1 flex sheet, not 4. So it can you can kind of bed mesh that out a little bit. But that's the issue that everybody has with the Orange Storm. Plus, when you're talking about extrusions that long, they're going to warp, they're going to flex, they're going to bend. It's a printer that, in order to have a printer that big, it would probably need to be engineered different. I don't think there's any way to actually 100% fix that printer. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it's one on Prusa XL. I think it's 1 bed with just different zones, not a whole bunch of different little plates, right? Yeah. So Phoenix, the thing that I want to see happen with Phoenix is I want to see the tech and R&D that they put into that motion system taken and put into a 2.4 350 frame. I don't need a 600 millimeter bed. Most people don't. Take all the R&D, all that stuff, and put it into a 350 size printer and call it a day. The problem you're going to run into, and so the problem with that is, by the time you've got a guy that's out shopping for a printer, and you've got two options. You can build a V2.4 that's got, you know, belts on the corners and one tool head, and I think they kind of walked away a bit from the or no, that was, never mind, and one tool head, or you've got ball screws, CNC parts, same size printer, two tool heads for what would probably end up being double the price or more. At that point, you're just Gucci just because kind of thing. Havoc, when I need a 600 millimeter printer, I'm going to take the part and I'm going to cut it into 4, and then I'm going to print it on my other printers in 4 parts. I'm going to buy a can of gloop, and I'm going to put that some bitch back together with gloop. So instead of spending $5 grand on a Phoenix, I have spent $30 on a can of gloop and got to the same point. Not saying the Phoenix not cool. It is so cool. Would I build one if it was given to me? Absolutely. Would I put it in the shop and would I use it? Absolutely. Am I going to spend $5 grand of my own money on it? No. No, sir. But I think that there's a lot that was learned in the development of it that can be applied to other things. You don't engineer something like that and not learn a thing or two. Down under maker, the problem is, the thing is, I can't afford that. There is no because I can. You have mistaken me for somebody else if you think I can afford that. In case you missed it, it looks like I'm going to be out of work for a while on disability. Yeah, an auto body shop 2 towns over begging me to print body panel molds. I'm like, I don't have the size to do that. What kind of body panel molds? I mean, what are they trying to do? Fiberglass or carbon fiber body panels and make their own, design their own like body kits and stuff? Is there even still a market for that? My back, man. I have severe degeneration in my neck, my lower back and in the middle of my back. It is pinching off my spinal cord. 2 weeks ago, I ended up in the ER, squatted from work because I pinched off the nerves that come out of your, right above your tailbone. 2 nerves come out and branch out and go down to your legs. And they're already partially pinched off. It feels like I'm walking on a boat 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Pins and needles in my legs all the time. Like you get when, you sleep on your hand wrong or something like that and your hand falls asleep. But pinched that off completely and was paralyzed for a few hours. Fortunately, I did not do any extra permanent damage. And once things calmed down, swelling went down a bit, I regained use of them to the extent that I had before. Yeah, that sucks, man. I'm sorry. So what they're going to want to do, it's not an if, it's a when I get to that point. What they'll do is they'll take and cut the back of the vertebrae out and then fuse them together so it'll look like C's or horseshoes to give room for the spinal cord to go and not be pinched off by the vertebrae. And it'll eventually end up, assuming that I don't have any more deterioration anywhere else other than where I do, it'll be 10. It's 3 in the middle of the back, 3 in the lower back, and 4 in the neck. Yeah. Nerve pain sucks too, man. It's a whole different kind of pain. It's kind of like having a toothache. How bad a toothache sucks? But in your back. Now I have a spinal surgeon, neurologist, a couple neurologists actually, and 2 different spinal surgeons. And then all the surrounding doctors as well. Played rugby the next week. Holy fuck, dude. You're one tough son of a bitch. All right, nobody pick a fight with Down Under Maker. Yep, already there, Collie. Migraines suck too, man. Migraines suck too. My daughter suffers from migraines really bad. She has a neurologist too. Her neurologist is nicer than mine. But the doctors at Children's Hospital are normally nice. But yeah, I've had some migraines and I know how bad they suck. Whoa, what was it? 15 years ago, I had viral meningitis. Was in the hospital for a week. That headache sucked. Typical sports coach at school. Get off your ass and play. Don't be weak. Colorado Medicaid isn't so bad. They won't. It's so bad they won't authorize surgery. They just toss pills at me. Or you refuse to take painkillers. I understand. I'm sorry, man. Yeah, and apparently, like gabapentin and stuff like that is now getting linked to dementia and Alzheimer's. Down under maker, I am sorry to hear that, sir. Hope things work out. Yeah, that's the thing about life, man. And you talk to people, you never. Everybody's got problems, you know. Uh, I'm not sitting here saying mine are any worse than anybody else's, and I probably wouldn't trade my problems for anyone else's. But yeah, it doesn't stop it from sucking. Yes, they are, Havoc. It's it's a fear of lawsuits now, just as it was a fear of lawsuits back then. Yep. Yep, 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 yep. All right. It's crimping time. Dun, 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 dun. Captain, I must confess, it took everything I had not to pull another 50 bucks out of my pocket and go get that stuff and do a workbench building stream today. Would have had to make the guys over at Lowe's cut the boards for me, though. Because there's no way I'm fitting a 4x8 sheet of anything in my little Hyundai Elantra. All right, let's see. We've got the thermistor done. Let's move this over here. And let's do the hot end fan. I'm really starting to get concerned that this workbench is going to collapse under the weight of this thing. The legs are very much bowed from when I had the granite sitting on it working on the Micron for so long. And now setting this printer on there, it's looking like it wants to just give up. H36 combo. Get the pin out for this thing. Because I want to hook the hot end fan up to one of these that have the variable voltage. That way, if in the future I want to replace that with a 5-volt fan for the hot end, I'm able to do so and not have to move stuff around. So that's going to be a 3-pin connector. And those pins are the ones on the left. You got a printer running 60 volts down under. I would like to do that, but I would need to, I don't think the Leviathan will take 60 volts. I think that's 48 max. So I would need a Kraken. I tell no one. Oh, Octopus Pro takes 60? Yeah, but the problem with the Octopus Pro is then you got to use those external 5160s. And by the time you're done all that, you might as well have just bought the Kraken board. Now, the workbench I'm building isn't going to house printers long term. It is just going to be for working on things. And it'll be like a stream setup, overhead cam. I'll be able to have a much better camera setup. But yeah, this board is all the JST PH2 connectors on this toolhead board. So voltage. And ground. wire is just barely long enough to reach. All right, so let's write down. You still have to have capacitors, man. That's the thing that prevents. It's the thing that's going to define how many amps you can push through it. All right, so hot end is hot end fan is plugged into PA9. Man, that's a hell of a deal. I need to find that kind of deal because I need a top for this workbench. Like I said, I want to do half of it in granite and then the other half in like a butcher block or some sort of wood top. That way if I need to hammer on something, I'm not hammering on granite or something. Be a different story if I had like a 4-inch thick piece of granite or something, but it's not going to be. It's going to be like, you know, countertop thickness, like an inch. All right, now the cooling fans. I'm going to put one in fan port 1 and one in fan port 3. Fan port 1 is adjustable voltage, but I'm going to still run it at 24. But the reason why I'm going to do that is that way if I get PWM fans, like censored fans or whatnot for cooling, they both have the sensor pin for it in future. So cooling, I'm going to need to set up a multi-pin. And that's going to be PB14 and PA5. Later, Down Under Maker. Have a good night. Collie, if I did a video, so I'm gonna do live streams on building the bench, and then probably a video on it, overview once it's all said and done, if that's what you're talking about. Or if you're talking about the benches that I made over here to hold printers, yeah. Believe it or not, I asked when I was building this other one if people would be interested in seeing a stream on it, and I got 0 replies. So I didn't stream it. I mean, they're just 2x4s MDF, but so they're nothing fancy. All right. Let me go back over there and get you all back on the right camera. Later, Collie. Let me know who wins. I hear Red Bull's having some issues this year. I haven't looked at how my dude Lewis Hamilton's doing, because he went to Ferrari this year, I do believe, if memory serves. Let me drag you all around over here. See, I was trying to do all those yesterday and then got sidetracked when I found the beacon hit. Going to run into that lead screw. Because this right here, crimping connectors on the wires, is the pinnacle of riveting entertainment. This is the part of the build I hate the most. Seems like I'm always having to, no matter what, recrimp every single connector for stuff on tool heads. Oh, you dirty rat. That is never going to be right. All right. So what's everybody's plans for the weekend? Anybody doing anything good? Be a bum. Did you get things working for your PUBG stream the other day? Makermind Nexus, you're going to sit and play with that Centauri Carbon. I love the fact that your house is just like mine, and you're just out, you know, in your workshop area. I don't know if it's in your garage or in your house. Could never quite tell. It was like a loft space or what, but you're out there just trying to peacefully stream and play with your printers, and your kids and old lady come out there and give you a hard time and tell you about the latest drama. And that's exactly what happens to me out here. As soon as they get up, I'm going to start getting yelled at to do stuff, because apparently nobody can do anything without me being a part of it. I should switch some laundry around, but I didn't have kids so that I would have to switch laundry around, you know? No reason why they can't unload a dishwasher and swap laundry around. Okay. Yeah, my garage is attached. I actually have I have the biggest portable air conditioner that you can get and plug into a 110 outlet, and it cannot keep up. Now, I will grant you that I still have not finished doing the ceiling over here, but the chances of me climbing up on a ladder to finish hanging drywall right now is 0. And my drywall lift from back when I did construction, well, let's just say I no longer have said drywall lift. Somebody else does. Yeah, so, and even if I did, I'm not dragging everything out of here and moving stuff all around so I could use it. So I just cut the sheets into 2-foot wide sections, because the rafters are 24 inches on center, and hung it up like that. Yeah, I got a little loft on the second floor too. So my ultimate goal when I moved in here was there's two bedrooms and a bathroom upstairs and a little loft space, and then a bedroom on the first floor. The initial plan was that the kids were going to have the bedrooms upstairs. One's bigger than the other. If my son ended up here, he was going to have the smaller room and then put the 2 girls in the bigger one. And, you know, if not, the older one has the bigger one, younger one has the smaller one, till the bigger one moves off to school or whatever. And then we would take the downstairs one. Not how it's worked out currently, but then I wanted to turn that loft space, put like a little love seat put a TV up on the wall and turn that into like their hangout area. They have friends over, they can just hang out in that loft area. That didn't happen. Right now it's just bookshelves with books, and then an area that just collects crap. When the older one moves out, the downstairs bedroom, I think, is going to turn into a workshop. $12 by $24 shop in late August. Nice. You doing like a pole barn or aluminum building, or what are you doing? Well, hello everyone in Havoc's house. Glad you're all here. Home Depot wood shed kit. Nice. I would like a wood shed just so I can move like all the bikes, electric scooters, smoker, lawnmower, lawn equipment, all that crap out of my garage and into the shed. I don't need a big one. I don't need a fancy one. I just need one where I can throw crap. So before this, I owned a mobile home, and I had a 10 by 10 shed in the backyard, and I wish I would have brought that here. But well, that's another story for another day. But it didn't. I didn't. I had good reason not to, because I was trying to do something nice. But it's a sore subject now, so we won't talk about it. I'm gonna grab something to drink out of, yeah. But anyway, like I said, I got that portable air conditioner and it can't keep up. So what I've been doing is I've got like a industrial like blower phantom thingamabobber. And I put that across the hallway in the laundry room, and there's a AC duct right there. So it blows across the hallway, grabs a whole bunch of cold air on its way in here, and blows cold air into the garage, and that does better than the AC unit. If you ever find your way out to Pennsylvania, New Jersey, South Jersey area, and you can find yourself a thing of Pennsylvania Dutch birch beer. If you are a guy that likes root beers and stuff like that, definitely try it out. It's definitely one of my favorites. Every time I'm out that way, I try to pick up a couple 2 liters or a couple 12 packs, bring it home. I made a float with it the other day. It was really good. Nice. You gonna do a mini split, Captain? In a new house, you said? The old lady really likes like townhouses, and I don't know why. She really likes those things. Like, I don't want one of those. I want a yard. I want space. I don't want I don't want anybody on the other side of my walls. But that is to say, some people prefer that. So not throwing any shade on it. There were some really nice ones down in Columbus that are you tracking me? You're not doing a damn thing, are you? There were 3 stories. They had like a walkout basement thing. And then second floor with like kitchen, dining room, that kind of living room kind of thing, and bedrooms on the 3rd floor. But the bottom had like a rec room, a mud room, laundry, and like I said, it was like a walkout basement onto like a patio kind of thing. LTX Designs, how's it going? Yeah, mini splits are awesome. I would love to do one here in the garage. Heat and cooling. But I could definitely see one of those tri-level townhouses being able to have that like rec room, utility room kind of thing in the basement converted into a workshop. Pretty easy. And with a walkout basement, you got the ability to easily move equipment in and out. I'm gonna block your view, y'all. $750 installed. Damn. I looked at them, they were like, I want to say it was like $2,000 just for the unit if I installed it myself. All right. Once I get this on, we got to figure out where we're plugging everything else into. We've got end stop. And then we've got 2 tool head sensors. And we've got the RGB. So I think we're going to do the RGB next. Making sure that voltage selector is on 5 volts, and it is. Oops. Oh, excuse me. So when I was talking to my son this morning, he's getting ready to head back down to the shore. His original plan, before I helped him get this position at the dealership, was to spend his summer working down the shore. His girlfriend is working and living down at the shore, so he's commuting back and forth to the shore on the weekends. Hanging out with his cousin. Right, y'all. So I need you to do me a favor. If you hate crimping wires as much as I do, go ahead and go down there to underneath the video and click that like button. Martin, still here, bud? All right, let's take a look. So, for our RGB port is going to be PA8. And we're going to be signal ground voltage. All right, signal on the top. And then ground. And then voltage. And I didn't switch you guys over, did I? You guys are still staring at a screen? You missed it? It's the most riveting part of this entire build, and you missed it? Stupid wrist. All right. So now all we've got left is end stop. Which I'm going to need to solder longer wires onto, because it ain't going to reach a damn thing. So we're going to have to pull that back off. And then tool head sensors. So, yeah. What do we got? We have on IO 0 plus 1. We've got 2 signals and a ground, so that looks like it's going to be what we use for our tool head sensors. That's going to be a 4-pin little connector. Cameras, again, forgotten what it's supposed to be doing. Move that, and then we'll get you guys back on the right camera. How's that? That's the wrong button. It's the same button again. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. All right, so this wire here is our ground. We got those 2 wires spliced together. share the same ground pin. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but on your tool head board or on your controller board, all the grounds actually lead back to 1. So you can connect your grounds if you got enough signal pins for what you're trying to do, but you don't have enough ground pins. You can just connect your grounds together into one. What did I say that was? Signal, signal, ground? Yeah, signal, signal, ground. All right, so post extruder is going to be PA15. I find it easiest that as I go through and connect everything to a tool head board or whatnot, to just write down what pins everything's going to. That way, when it comes time to set up my config, it's I've got a nice list and I can just easily run through it. What do you guys do for that? How do you guys keep track of where you're connecting everything? Do the same thing, you write it down? Come on. Get in there. This last one's being a pain. It doesn't want to go in. There we go. All right. Pre-extruder is PC7. Excellent. See, my camera has again decided to, I don't know, track the freaking ceiling. Steven, how's it going? All right. So once more with feeling, I need to take this off for what is, I hope, the last time. So I can replace the wires on this end stop. Oh, the other thing you guys missed is this pug thing. And I printed it out of TPU, but I think we need to reprint that in a stiffer material. So here's that pug, but it likes to separate. And from the comments, it seems like, on the model anyway, in the comments, it seems like people are printing that in actual materials. So let's do this. Let's go over here. Let's go to the micron. And we needed the 6.5. I've already got blue Ambrosia's Planetary Blue ASA Galaxy format loaded up. But I honestly think we need more fan. More cooling on that. That's a hot chamber. What is my ASA high speed? ASA high speed cooling is but this assumes an auxiliary fan. I need to do some more print tuning on this Micron now that's done. Just been kind of holding off till I put the Night Owl on there. All right, we need some longer wires. And we have longer wires right here. Let's let's go over here. Come back around this way. Get you a room with a view. Steven, how's the robot coming? How many more plates do you have to print? Three, 4 plates functional, and 7 for the housing. The housing not actually server function, it's just aesthetic. Oh, okay. There's belts on that? It said a month. How many people have built those? Do they issue serials or anything? So you can kind of get an idea of how many there are. Yeah, I figured it wouldn't be a whole lot. I'm honestly kind of surprised if the number is 100 that it's that high. I just realized I forgot a screw in the back of this tool head. It's probably like a 12. Let's see. That ain't gonna fit. No mention of cereals, huh? Well, 10 ain't gonna get in there either. You gotta kind of get this in at an angle above the rail. No bragging rights, huh? Well, that sucks. Now that's gonna be a bitch to get out of there, and it's not long enough to reach the threads. Shit. I'm gonna have to take this entire tool head apart to get to this stupid thing. All right, let's put these screws away, or knock them all over the place. I'll show you what the problem is. I didn't realize I didn't have it on the right camera. So that screw all the way up in there, right above the MGN rail, screws into the back of the tool head. I forgot to put it in there. You can't get the right length screw in there while this tool head is attached. The screw that I put in there kind of had to force over top of the rail, so I'm never going to get it back out. And it doesn't reach the threads. So it's just kind of floating and clanging around in there right now. Yeah, I understand that's optional, but the option to leave it floating and clanging around in there isn't. If I decided to just say, fuck it beforehand and not put it in there, that would have been one thing. But now that I've forced it over there and it doesn't actually reach the threads, that's a whole nother problem. JPP, how are you today? Y'all done moving? Getting to hang out and relax today, or are you still having to move? Guess I should get a measurement on how long this needs to be. So that needs to be a 12mm screw. Not done yet. Just getting up. You mean to tell me you waited to the end to move the printers? Seems like that should have been the first thing moved, sir. All right, there's that. And this come off. I can take that screw out. I think I need a 12. Printers are there, just not the cabinets they go in. Okay. I guess I can let that slide. Actually, I think a 10 is going to fit this better. I don't want it to push in on the plastic and crush the PTFE pathway. Yeah. That is about it, Steven. But I moved here this time. If I ever move again, God willing, I won't have to. But if I ever have to move again, I'm going to do it the same way I did when I moved here. So I rented this container. Looked like an ocean container. It was on wheels, like a half-size ocean container. And guy brought it on trailer, dropped it off in my yard. And so originally I thought I would need it for a month, but then some delays happened. I end up having it for like 2.5 months. But anyway, so what I would do, get home from work, as stuff got packed up, just go put it in there. Slowly packing up that ocean container. And then when it was moving day, call him up. He brought it over here, dropped it off in my yard. And every day after work, I go out there, grab a couple boxes, bring them in, unpack them, throw the boxes away. I didn't have boxes stacked everywhere. While trying to move out, I didn't have boxes stacked everywhere that when I'm trying to move in, and then they're in your way when you're trying to unpack. Best decision of my life. And I think I paid like, it was $160 a month to have that container, and they would move it for you for free. So it didn't cost me anything to move it. And if the plan worked out like it was supposed to, where I only had it for a month, $160, that is not a bad cost to move. 2 weeks packing, 2 weeks unpacking, and not having everything in your way and tripping over everything. Just doing it at your own pace. Oh no. Yeah, it's kind of like a pod, but it's bigger than a pod. Is like it was 20 feet. It was the same size as a 20-foot ocean container. We had tie down spots in it and all that sort of stuff, so you could tie stuff down, and worked out great. So if anyone's ever moving, look into that. Especially if you're like me and you didn't really have any help. The old lady shortly before that had fallen carrying in firewood, fell up the stairs with the firewood coming in from out back, landed, and the firewood broke 2 of her fingers. So she wasn't a whole lot of help as far as loading and unloading stuff. So it's pretty much on me to pack up and move everything. All right, there's that put back on. That's always fun. Gun safes are heavy. Yeah, exactly. That's all so when I moved, I had a little 2-door Honda Civic and Nissan Altima. And I wasn't moving stuff in that. And friends I did not have. My brother-in-law came with his truck and helped me move the big things: refrigerators, stove, washer and dryer. So he came with his truck and a trailer to move that stuff. But I only had him for a day, you know. I was never moving all this stuff in a day. All right, there we go. Wasn't too terribly awful. Captain, I'm trying to understand what happened with your Dremel. What blew apart? The shank lock? So, like your chuck on there. Oh, nice. Yeah, there's a community on the Voron Discord, CNC everything, I think. It just might be a thread. I'm not sure. Man, this does not want to line up. What is the issue here? There we go. Screw did not want to line up. Steven, don't you have a Milo that you could do some CNC parts on? So that screw in the back, part of the reason why I wanted it was just for extra stability on this tool head. I figure it could probably use all the stability it can get. All right, so now one last connection. It's our X end stop. You know, I've never played PUBG. Kids made me play Fortnite a few times. I've never played PUBG. For a guy that ran a gaming server focused on Halo and stuff, I am incredibly bad at FPS games. Oh my god. He ran over him with the car. Where am I connecting this to? Forgot where I'm connecting this. All right, so yeah, that sounds like fun. PUBG is a free game, isn't it? Is that still a free-to-play game on Xbox where it's like Halo, you don't even need to have live to do multiplayer? Or do I need to download that onto my PC? It doesn't have crossplay? Alright, well, I'll have to download it on my computer then. You don't want to bring me into a ranked match, that's for certain. Although maybe it'll give you advantage because it matches you up against worse players, but I would be of no assistance in that. I barely serve for more than comic relief. Yep, that's about what I would be, Steven. All right, so top two. Alrighty. there's that. So now all the wires, minus the wires for the beacon, have been attached. So I'm going to zip tie those since I still got to do the beacon wires once I get connectors. Steven, you're playing with these guys too? What do you mean you installed it and then ran? Oh, yeah. I wouldn't be able to either. Don't feel bad. Once upon a time, maybe. So, when do you guys play? Do you guys have like a set game night that you guys play? Most of your printers running off a big UPS. Can UPS be hooked to a heavy gauge extension cord or possibly replace the cord in the UPS with a long one? Yeah. So, I would say your best bet is to probably go and get yourself and make your own cord. So like this here is 10 gauge portable power wire. Some pretty freaking heavy duty shit. This is rated for using as an extension cord. You can run it for your equipment, connect it up to boxes. It's rated just to be laid out. So you can surface mount it like armor cable, whatever you need to do. But that's what I would do. You can buy it by the foot in Lowe's. Like I said, this is 10 gauge, 3 wire, so black, white, green. There's colors in this. This is south wire. This will do 300 volts on this one. 3C10AWG. That's what I would do. It's normally not actually that bad. Sometimes you can find it on clearance and stuff. But outside of that, it's, I don't know, maybe a couple more cents a foot over what 10 gauge Romex would cost you. And this will do 30 amps. Obviously, you can use it on less than that, but this will do 30 amps. Yeah, this is what I would do. I've got this running because I found it was happened to be cheaper than 10 gauge Romex, and that's what I ran power over for my compressor for. It's on a 30 amp 220 circuit. The compressor only needs 7.5 amps when it's running on 220, or 15 amps when it's running on 110. So it was a no-brainer just to run a line over to it for 220. Especially when I had already run power for back there in the corner. I can't point to it. Yeah, that thing right there. Garage heater. That thing needs 30 amps of 220. Yeah. But that cord, you can walk on it. You can... Shit's tough. All right, so... X end stop. Is on PA10. So if we go over to Lowe's, 3C10AWG. $290 a foot. Now, you could, assuming that your outlets are on a 20 amp breaker, you could get away with 12. But for power cords like that, I normally like to go with a heavier gauge. It might not even have 12. Sure they have 12. They got to. Oh, I guess they don't even have 12. What is this doing? Why is my stream not showing the right thing? Restart capture. There we go. I'm sorry, I was showing you stuff and it was locked onto the wrong damn screen. So here it is. This is the wire you want. if you got a Lowe's near you. Yeah, yeah. Not a pro streamer over here at all. What do we got over at Home Depot? I know Menards doesn't even sell it by the foot. $3C 10 AWG. $10 feet for $33.70. $10.4. That's what I need right now. Oh, well, here's one hell of a deal. $1.82 a foot. 20 feet of it for $33. I don't have an affiliate link for Home Depot. I think there's a dead bug in my thing. Oh, that's what I was doing. Printed this pug. Yeah, a little better with more cooling. I gotta run tuning on this thing. I think we'll do that real quick. Because when I built this, it had a 0.4 nozzle in it. It's got a 0.5 Undertaker nozzle on it right now. JPP, I put if you missed it, I put a link in the description to Home Depot. It's the best deal I found for it. It's like $1.82 a foot. It's a 20-foot long piece for $33. And then you just need to buy the plugs for the end or whatever you got to do. All right, this is a little flex up. No, this is not going. This is definitely not going to work. We're going to leave the we're going to leave the TPU one in there. All right. Let's come over here to Orca Slicer. Home, new project. Yep. Discard. Let's go into ASA basic. And then calibration, pressure advance. Pattern. Slice. Print. All right, gonna run pressure advance on this. I need to get a camera for the Micron. How much is the one that I bought off of AliExpress for the Trident? Processed? All right, how much is one of these going to cost me? No, that's the wrong size. Angry USB. Yeah, this is what I've got in mind. That's what I was looking for, was the, you can't use the Pi cams though. I was looking for this, but in the 160-degree angle one. OV 5640. 160 degree. All right. $33? I think not. $120. Currently unavailable. So need the OV 56 40 160 degree. $26.59. I guess here it is, but fucking 30 some dollars. OV 26.59. Yeah. I just ordered off of AliExpress. Tell me how long the USB cable is that comes with. Doesn't tell me how long the USB cable is. Any of these things have free delivery on? Good Lord. Nozzle cams are a gimmick. Can you please just take me back to the home page? Thank you. OV 56 40 160. Free shipping? Any of y'all have free shipping? That's not the right one. I guess I'm not getting free shipping. I know. I'm boring the shit out of y'all. I'm sorry. Oh, shit. Steven, you cracked me up. Okay, so JPP sent me this. That's interesting. It's still pretty secret. Not many people watch my stuff, JPP. All right, so here's what we are going to do, because I have a sneaking suspicion. All right. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. I promise. All right, so I've got this camera that used to be in the switch wire for my webcam. And how much you want to bet that the module in this thing is the same camera module? I don't think it's going to be the 160-degree one, but I know for a fact it's not going to be. But let's see if we can take this thing apart and see what's in it. There's two little cap looking things on the back of this that I'm assuming have screws underneath of them. Just a matter of how to get it out. All right, there's one. There's two. There's one screw. Two screws. Nope. Wrong board. Wonder if my CAD skills have advanced enough to make an enclosure for this. What do you think? Y'all want to try? You want to laugh at me try to stumble my way through making a thing for this? Is remembering how to do stuff on it. I haven't gotten to that point. I've never seen this camera control module before, Steven. If you want to send me a link to the one you're talking about, I'll take a look at it, see if it'll work for this. So JPP, the issue I have is same thing with this. Like, I don't want this hanging down in the printer. So that's why I took the module out of it and going to see about. I have no doubt that it's a good camera. It's just a function of I want just the board, and so I can make a very streamlined mount. Like, so this right here is the camera for this printer. Nice. You gonna start streaming there, Steven? I love when they don't give you a time for delivery. They just say sometime before the end of the day. Oh, that would be fun. Definitely post it up in the Discord and tag me and let me know that you're doing it. All right, let's go back over here to the interwebs. And let's go over to printables. Camera mount. Okay. C920 rat. No, what is it? Let's see. WHO phi. I'm not seeing it. Fingerprint. Interesting. Humans can be tracked with unique fingerprint based on how their bodies block Wi-Fi signals. Interesting. Somewhere in here, I thought I remember seeing. a camera mount for the Micron. Oh, sorry. I got distracted. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with it. What is this FTL project, Captain? All right. We're about done here. I think we'll just order the freaking camera that I know works and go from there. Well, I have a pressure advance tuning plate. see what this looks like. Good morning, Crazy Hair Zip. All right, sounds like everybody's up. So 0.025. All right, well, I'm gonna plug that in as a pressure advance number, and then I'm gonna keep on doing some tuning stuff, messing around with this. We'll be back probably next week. Hopefully I'll have the rest of the parts and we can button up this Trident by then. And yeah, go from there. And we'll see how the week goes. Maybe I'll be back just randomly doing stuff. Let's see what happens with how some appointments go. All right. Yes, send me an invite, JPP. You said it's at 10 o'clock, right? 10 o'clock Eastern. Captain, I've got a self-promotion section on my Discord. Post it up in there, and I think I set to follow the channel so I get notifications whenever anybody posts in there. But I'll double check. All right, we're gonna call it there. Don't forget to hit the like button on the way out. And we'll see you all later.